Good morning, everyone. Clint McLaughlin here with Midwest Market Management. I've got Riley Sykard on with me. It is May 6th today, Tuesday, May 6th, and boy, are things really coming along, Riley. I drove down from Wisconsin on Sunday afternoon, and the fields were pretty quiet along the way down. You got into southern Wisconsin and started getting into Iowa. It was around probably 6, 7 in the evening. I happened to see a few guys scratching around out there, but it was certainly a wide open pattern here yesterday.
Yeah, pretty open window is open this week, so I think a lot of people are going to get a lot of crops stuck in the ground. Kind of like you and I had.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Well, like you and I kind of just talked about the era of the planting progress and being concerned of the crop getting stuck in the ground is looking to kind of be gone, don't you think?
Yeah, we've got a pretty good 10-day window here, wide open here in central Iowa. I would venture that most of the western corn belt is pretty much picking their locations for which they want to plant. Talk to some guys in the eastern belt today, a little bit different story over there. They're going to need some additional dry time. But if the forecast holds, looks like they're going to get what they're looking for. From what I'm hearing, Saturday through Monday of next week should get them pretty dried out if everything holds, and they'd be in wide open gear after that. So, as crazy as it sounds, I do believe that in the market's mind, maybe not for the average farmer and not right now, but the mentality is going to shift to rain makes grain, and I do believe we're at the point where outside of a massive shift in the front end weather models that were to bring in rain, outside of that, we get past this 10-day window where the maps look pretty dry. After that, it's going to be rain makes grain and looking for rains after that. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Switching gears to the rain makes the market go down this time of year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, I'm ready to hop right into these maps. We kind of brought up planning progress a little bit. Everything came in as expected, not really anything shocking there. Illinois was the only thing that intrigued me a little bit, that they're behind average, which I guess I don't have a good explanation for that on the corn side of things, but not anything concerning. Flicking over to beans, same thing. Beans actually ahead, kind of agreeing with our thoughts, Clint, that more people are starting to put beans in the ground first. And I think over the next 5 years, the bean numbers are going to continue to get faster and faster.
Yeah, I'm looking at soybean field to my left here that is up and out of the ground and growing.
Yep. So moving into the actual weather here, 1 to 5 day temperatures in the 70s to high mid 60s pretty much everywhere. Absolutely ideal for this time of year. No issues there. 6 to 10 day, getting a little bit more heat. Starting to see Dakotas, Nebraska, Kansas seeing stuff more in the 80s. While not an issue yet, as we do spring more into the drought side of things and that thought process and that mindset, we're looking to see if we get really hot over the coming weeks, some dryness may start to spur something up, but right now, no concern. Moving in the last 13 days of rain, pretty simple. We already knew about all of this. Not really anything new other than the eastern corn belt over the last couple of days, especially Ohio. Caught some decent amount of rains that, like you mentioned in the beginning, sounds like they need a little bit more heat to get themselves back in the field. But other than that, pretty much everything's dry enough that it's a wide open window. Down in the Texas, Oklahoma wheat regions, they got a bunch of rain down there. That's, Clint, would you agree that's definitely been a detriment to the wheat market over the last week or two?
Yeah, certainly it has to be weighing on it. I've seen pictures from customers and friends coming out of even the panhandle of Texas and some very phenomenal looking dryland wheat down there.
So moving in, surface soil moisture actually starting to look a little bit dry, especially in the western corn belt. Um, Illinois, kind of the tale of two states right now, a little dry to the north and super wet to the south. And subsoil, not anything super scary yet. So it's gonna need to be some substantial amounts of dryness before it starts becoming a real issue. Drought monitor map, nothing really changed there. Moving into the 1 to 5 day rain forecast, like you and I mentioned, it's pretty much wide open. Southern areas and Ohio looking to get a little bit more rain yet, but everybody else.
My understanding of the precip that we're seeing on the Ohio maps here today is they're finishing up right here and now today. That's my understanding of it, is that's moving out after today. And so for them, it's worth pointing out that this is towards the beginning of the 1 to 5 day, not the end.
Yes. So a little bit of rain in the forecast for guys today. Other than that, I mean, everybody's wide open right now. So one thing that is interesting, planting's done down in the Delta, but they're getting some decent rain down there this week. That's definitely going to help out their crops that are probably a lot of it poking out of the ground by now.
Yeah, I would imagine it's actually probably more than poking out of the ground. It's advances much more rapidly down there than we give it credit for here in the Midwest. They should be up and growing and off to a relatively decent start, other than potentially issues with too much water, which from a national yield perspective, it's just it's unfortunate because when you're stuck in it, it can be a battle. But from a national yield perspective, I don't foresee anything huge being a problem there.
Yep, I agree. 6 to 10 day, more of the same. Some chances way to the north, but still windows there. A lot of planting going to be made. A lot of progress. I'd expect next week's planting progress report to have substantial amounts of progress made. Most people, Clint, you and I mentioned that a lot of guys here in Iowa will be probably wrapped up by the end of the week. And talking to guys in the Dakotas and other states, Dakotas are well ahead of average for themselves. A lot of guys already done if they took advantage of the early planting season, and they haven't had much rain to keep them out of the fields. So especially that North South Dakota where there normally can be a little bit slower with planting, there's a lot of guys wrapping up there as well.
Yeah.
So moving into 1 13 day where we're combining all this, looks a little darker than I'd expect, a little bit more rainfall there than I'd guess. But a lot of that's in the extended, past the 10 day, that 10 to 13 range. So not anything super crazy. Overall, I mean, not really any reason to be concerned.
I do believe we're having a little bit of bandwidth issues, Riley. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I got you.
Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of this map is actually sneaking in at the end of the 10 day, because this is a 1 to 13 day. And if you look at the past two maps, it doesn't show quite as much rain cumulatively there. So I believe what's happening is at the end of the 10 day period, we've got moisture coming in. As I mentioned, like that almost for a lot of guys, unless you're not done, that's ideal.
Yeah, and I struggled to have full faith in anything past the 10 day forecast, but that's still very interesting to look at. But overall on the US side, I mean, that's all I got, Clint.
Sure. I couldn't agree more. Seems like we're going to be off to a good start. And I'm a little concerned that weather's going to get boring here for a little bit, just because once we get this crop in, calendar wise, we should be warming up, and we'll need to see the rains continuing. And I think the next thing the market will be looking for will be any hints of a pattern shift that might focus or might point towards a little bit drier conditions. I think that's your next major threat to be watching for. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. As always, you can find this on YouTube. Hit us up on our website at midwestmarketmanagement.com. Love to visit with you in person if you want, or over the phone if you'd like to give us a call. Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you on Thursday.
This material has been prepared by a sales or trading employee or agent of Midwest Market Management and is in the nature of a solicitation. This material is not a research report prepared by of Midwest Market Management Research Department. By accepting this communication, you agree that you are an experienced user of the futures markets, capable of making independent trading decisions, and agree that you are not and will not rely solely on this communication in making trading decisions. Distribution in some jurisdictions may be prohibited or restricted by law. Persons in possession of this communication indirectly should inform themselves about and observe any such prohibition or restrictions. To the extent that you have received this communication indirectly and solicitations are prohibited in your jurisdiction without registration, the market commentary in this communication should not be considered a solicitation. The risk of loss in trading futures and/or options is substantial, and each investor and/or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated by simulated historical tests of strategies, is not indicative of future results. Trading advice is based on information taken from trades and statistical services and other sources that of Midwest Market Management believes are reliable. We do not guarantee that such information is accurate or complete, and it should not be relied upon as such. Trading advice reflects our good faith judgment at a specific time and is subject to change without notice. There is no guarantee that the advice we give will result in profitable trades.